What happened? It's going live. Yep.
I
I
got it.
think, if I'm not mistaken, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are and whoever you are. And welcome back to the AMA, L1X AMA. And first of all, again, I've been active on X, which is Twitter, and I've also released my own YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe there. But a big thanks again to all the community members, who have been very patient with us, and while we work, intensively in the background, 24/7, around the clock. And at the same time, I think those people, Timist, Kissing Styles, Ronak, V591, all these guys who are supporting me on Twitter, like the moment I hit the share button, immediately they come in and they like it. I respect it and I appreciate that. Right, those numbers are growing, so that's good. That's good to know. So yeah, in this AMA, what we'll do is I will give an update on where we are at with the roadmap that I released at the start of the month on the second, and we'll go through certain marketing level stuff as well. And we'll make it a habit now that once in 2 weeks we do this AMA and you get an update on the marketing as well. And we'll also go through, so that will be done by Sandra. So she's the Chief Information Officer. Um, we'll go through the support level stuff as well. So how many tickets were open, how many were closed. Leono is handling that, right? The jack of all trades guy is here, Leono. And we've also got Mike, right? So Mike will go through any other questions that you may have as well. Anyways, I don't need to share my screen on this. I don't have a Miro board, but I do have certain notes I've made so I don't miss anything. All right. So going through the roadmap, and don't worry if you do miss out any of the information here. I'll be making a Twitter post either today or tomorrow on the update. So the first one, Solana integration, right? And we have completed that integration. It's live on the L1X app. We are also currently, making sure that any bugs are being ironed out there. The documentation has also been updated, and the DEX that is building with us also has that documentation, and they are building the Solana integration as well. Now, just on this, I just want to touch upon the fact that I understand that there has been, incredibly low staking done on those stake contracts, and I think we understand this, and we weren't expecting any large numbers anyways. But at the same time, the whole concept around demonstrating that and validating the technology, at least that check mark we have, number one. And number two, Sandra today will go through certain marketing level activities that we are working on right now, where the whole concept around the DeFi is to push the DEX that is building with us. So if there is low liquidity on the upcoming DEX, then there would be a problem for us, right? So as long as we validate the tech and we've got the marketing fundamentals established to push the DEX to get those liquidity and the users on board. The Tron integration, that's number two. That is work in progress. So we are working on it. I won't get into the details of it. I'll release more information as we go, but that's still under progress. The big guy, the Bitcoin integration, right? Now, what happens over here is that, before I go into it, we just need to make sure that, certain crown jewel features that we have, like Bitcoin integration, right, is released at the right time. So what we are going to do is we are going to release our marketing phase before the Bitcoin integration goes live. Now, when will that be? So I mentioned that July was when we were going to push the Bitcoin. We will complete the integration, but we will push that onto the new DEX directly. The reason we don't want to put it on L1X app is because we want users to go to the new DEX because there is some features there that they cannot use on L1X app, of course. Even the balancer pool will be opened up on the new DEX, right? So when we have these marketing fundamentals established and the clear vision is to push that DEX in terms of all the DeFi activities, that is when Bitcoin integration will be going live there. So instead of doing it this month, We will aim to do it next month once we have the DEX live and there are users going there to test these features. Staking into L1X liquidity pool, that is completed. So you can go and stake. Now, I am aware that there are certain people who have faced certain issues while staking. There are certain, out of 10,000, there are 50 people, for example, who have had problems with the coin distribution or maybe more, right? That's why Leono is here to address those things. But overall, the staking works. And I think we have staked around $50,000 or $45,000 in token value. That's more than 1 million coins already in there. So that's good to know. And it is also one of the things that we are working on. So we are working on certain tokenomics tweaks, right? Nothing to be concerned about. If there are anything, we will be adding more cliff and vesting to the team, right? And the reason for that is we want to control the supply of the coins. We want to create features to soak up the liquidity, right? So there are certain tweaks that we are doing on tokenomics, and staking into L1X is one of that. The swap into L1X is the next feature. It's already released, right? So people have already gone and swapped in. It's already working. Swap into L1X. The DEX is in work in progress. The NFT marketplace, the contracts are built. The integration work is going on. So everything is okay there. The token builder, the same thing. The contracts are built. The integration work is in progress. And the Web3 game. Now, there are certain EVM related features that the Web3 games required, and we did not currently have it. So what we have done over the last 6 weeks is we have updated, the L1X core. And what we will be doing is we will be releasing the
Is Kevin frozen for you guys? Okay. Give us a second. We'll just see if we can work out. You may have been knocked offline.
Yeah, just drop your message again.
Okay. All right, give us all a minute. We'll just see if we can get Kevin back online. In the meantime, what I might do in the meantime, just while we're waiting for Kevin to join, I'll quickly jump in and just give you a little bit of an idea of what we've been working on with regards to the DEX. To give you an idea, today alone, I think I had probably about 6 hours worth of meetings with the DEX team. Fantastic! They're beyond excited to get that up and working. They've been working with Kevin in the background on that. But probably one of the most interesting. Oh, here's Kevin back. I'll cover off on the DEX shortly. Hopefully,
all right.
Working, I think. Back
here. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, the internet is terrible in Pune. It's terrible. All right. Imagine running a node here, right? I would be kicked out on the first day. But anyways, coming back to the fact where the L1X core is being updated. So we will be inviting certain node hosting providers to come in and host their node with us, right? And this, we will reward them as well. But this is with the updated features, where the price of contract deployment on L1X, if you think about it, it's so low. And that's one of the reasons that these 6 games are getting deployed with us, and they're going to be saving so much of money over there. And the projects can actually charge these users a little bit extra and giving the project certain avenues to make money. So the L1X EVM is being updated for that, and the L1X core along with the fee structure is also being updated. The next one is the Xtalk signer fee model. It's completed. It is in testing. We will release it by the end of the month. The block proposer and the X core, that is also completed. The testing is in progress. So each and every nodes that you see on the Explorer, you'll have an X core for them. You will know the strength of this node, right? This helps us with opening up the staking of L1X coin into the node. Yeah. So once these X core is available, we will make available the staking of L1X into the node directly by next month. So based on the node score, you can stake it. Even if we released it right now, there is no way of you to know actually, how well or how good this node is. What if the node went down, right? So there are those reasons why we have waited for staking into L1X on the node. And once the X core is out, we will make them released. Also, the other part is that the consensus code is ready for audit. So at the end of this month, the X wallet is being audited by Hashlock, and also the fact that certain contracts, right, that we are already releasing has been audited. So the consensus code will be going for audit. We were supposed to do it in the month of September on the roadmap, but we have brought it back and we are doing it right now. So we will be open sourcing the consensus code, probably by the end of next month, hopefully. The MetaMask integration of L1X coins as a feature that is also completed. So you will be able to transfer L1X coins from MetaMask. So you don't have to install the X wallet if you did not want to. So you will be able to straight away transfer L1X. That feature is also done. It's in testing. We will release it by the end of this month. With regards to the contracts, right? So we have already open sourced a lot of contracts for the developers, and at the same time, a YouTube video has also been started. So a step-by-step guide as to how to deploy these contracts and how to execute certain functions in them. Now, what we'll also do is there is another type of YouTube series we want to start, and that will focus upon the fact that how to build a project with front end, back end, and integrate L1X. So like a complete tech stack, playlist. So how do you spin up, a simple DEX? How do you spin up a token minter with the front end, back end work? But that will be like in at least 5 to 6 different videos, 45 minutes each. That will be at least a 4-5 hour long video, how to create a project from scratch and build it. So we are targeting this to like everyday Web3 devs, right? Yeah, the next one is listing on Mexi. So that is also completed on the roadmap. So according to the numbers, the only thing is that the Bitcoin integration, we have pushed it back next month because we want to only make it open on the DEX initially. And apart from that, we are on schedule from the 10 to 15 pointers we've got. We are on schedule. Now, when I say the end of July, I don't exactly mean 31st of July. I actually mean 10th of August, because the way we do it is we finish the features, it goes under testing, and you've got to give around a week or 10 days to massage it, making sure that these features are done. So probably at the max by the 10th of August, these things will be released, including the DEX and the other projects. So everything is on timeline, nothing is missed. Now, I won't take up all the space. So moving on to the marketing side, right? We have been working, behind the scenes on certain fundamentals that we want to establish. So one of the biggest challenge we saw with the projects is that when we are trying to onboard these projects and we are trying to, onboard their users to go and buy the coins or, use our system, these users move from one place to the other, without being connected to your system. And that's the reason we have introduced a completely, updated NFT tiering system built directly on the protocol to push loyal customers. And what I'll do is I'll let Sandra introduce that to you and go through it. But keep an open mind and try to understand why we are trying to do this. We want to push the marketing hard, but there has to be some measure. You need to know that, okay, the marketing is working. So that's the reason we have built something with the NFT tiering. Yeah, Sandra, if you want to share your screen.
Yeah. Okay, can you use my screen, right? Yep, okay. So, well, as Kevin was saying, we came with this pretty exciting NFT tier system that based on several NFT collections, everyone from any new user to those who has been with us all this time will be having certain benefits, right? So just to start with, I think that it's important to highlight which are the main objectives that we are trying to achieve here. So first of all, from the marketing, as Kevin was saying, we need to establish this solid foundation. So that way it will be very easy for not only from us, also for any project that it's onboarding on L1X to interact and with the L1X app and their project's ecosystem, but also to give that push on marketing, right? With any new campaign that we will be having. Also, having this avenue of user sharing between Layer 1X and any new ecosystem that it's coming on board. And the most important, or one of the most important, is reward these big community members for the ongoing support. And this will be like incentivizing the participation of the users across different activities, interacting with the L1X app and with the projects. So this system categorizes in 6 main NFT collections that you can see
Sandra,
here.
can you zoom in?
Yeah.
Because it's not visible at all. Maybe if you want to just full size and zoom into that. Yeah.
No? Yeah. Okay. So these are
more,
just
please.
more. Okay. So I'm going to go one by one.
Yeah.
So the first one, that is the pawn. Well, before going more in deep, so these 6, some of them, they are unlimited NFTs, and some of them that are going to be the queen and the king, they will have several limited units, right? So it's going to be a pretty easy system to access. So from having certain actions to perform in order to get this NFT, as you can see here, we're going to have some initial performance criteria to access to those NFTs, right? So we are going to incentivize the users to do or perform certain actions across the L1X and the project's ecosystem to be able to have access and qualify for one of those NFTs. So maybe you can see it here. So each NFT will have a price associated and also their equivalent in value in points. That way, the user will have the option to access to that NFT by purchasing and having some rewards attached to that price, but also to keep performing, keep pushing, doing certain actions across the L1X and be able to upgrade to another NFT, right? So as a list of benefits, I'm coming back here. So each NFT will have their benefits associated. Here are some examples of them. Of course, this can change or vary as we are adjusting it. But basically, as you keep upgrading yourself, of course, the benefits will keep growing. And if you access to this tier system and you already have been interacting and pushing across the L1X app or the Layer 1X ecosystem, you will be having an extra benefit because you already will qualify for being a queen or getting a queen or a king with all the benefits that this will have associated. So that way, anyone who has been with us will have straight access or direct entry to get one of those NFTs. Okay, so I went through some of the initial criteria. As you can see, for example, things like doing swaps, doing staking, depositing into the balancer pool, interacting with any of our partners like Galaxia or Shuffle. So those will have several actions associated that, of course, will also change and adjust as per campaigns. And the user will be able to not having always the same actions, but also have different activities that will help to keep getting points to be able to keep upgrading through their tiers. So here it's what I was saying. So you can upgrade by accumulating points or by purchasing the next NFT. And then together with this NFT system, we add a points system. So basically, let me go here. I'm gonna make it higher. Okay. So we had we put a point system. So each NFT will have associated straight away certain amount of points that will renew every month. So by owning, let's say, a queen, let's say that you have 1,000 points for you to spend on certain benefits associated to that I will go after this. Also then, after that, we have the power-ups. So things like having a ELN node or a username will give you extra points every month that you also will be able to use or exchange for certain benefits. And then things like add-ons. Those are the things that I was talking about. Any action that you do across the L1X app or across the partners ecosystem, it will have certain points associated. So this is an example of the points associated to certain actions. So these can be changing according also in time on campaigns. So, okay, and now it's like, okay, I have this certain amount of points. What do I do with those points, right? So you can get it and redeem it. And for example, certain benefits that you can have is have free transactions that, let's say that you collect 10 points. So because you are a pawn, that is the entry or the lower level, you get 1 free transactions. But if you keep performing actions across L1X or the partners ecosystem, you can get more free transactions. Also, things like early access to airdrops or having access to whitelist, premium content, or things like special edition merchandise, boost reward multipliers, etc., etc. These lists can increase, right? But just as some of the actions or the things that you can redeem your points. And other than that, also, we will be adding some additional benefits to those tiers. So things like a discount system. Here I put, for example, like according usernames. So as much usernames you get, you can get certain discount for it. But this can apply across other campaigns that will be there. And the same with the purchase. So as I said, one of the benefits that you can get is if you decide, instead of doing all the actions across all the actions that you have available, you decide to just go and purchase so you can upgrade straight away, you will also get rewarded for that. So as you can see here is a table where you will be having certain amount of L1X like boosted if you decide to purchase. Yep, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And one of the thing, I completely understand. Okay, so one of the question over here is, what does these NFTs have to do with the marketing plan, more community grassroots marketing, right? And rewards are NFTs with no real USD value. Okay, that's a very fair point. So, and the reason for this is, when you look at the cycle that we are creating for the marketing perspective, it does not take a lot of effort to take $1 million, go to a marketing agency and spend that money, which we did. We did spend that kind of money with a marketing agency and we saw no results. So we went through that route and we did not achieve what we wanted to achieve. So we thought, what is the other way to do it, right? And we spoke to our project partners. We spoke to a lot of different people. What's the best way to kickstart the whole this marketing campaign? So a user profiling system is very important for the protocol, and sharing the users across the projects. So for example, there are certain tens of thousands of users that Galaxy Studios has. Now, how do we take these users and give them across to Shuffle apps, getting users from Shuffle apps and putting them back towards Galaxia Studios. Because not to forget that these are the actual users who will come onto the protocol and they can participate in the project. Number one, what is the marketing for? Number two, going and buying the coins, right? So if these 25,000 people, what is the best way to convert them into coin buyers? How do we push them to go to the exchanges or the DEX, swap into L1X, consume the liquidity? It has to be tied up to the benefits that they will get, apart from the fact that the price of the coin is going to go up, of course, right? And number three is we want to work with influencers, but one of the most abstract thing that we have seen is there is no measurement over there. So if we work with 10 different influencers, we don't know how do we measure their performance. So this user tiering system helps us to understand if a user is coming in, he is performing a certain task, meaning, okay, it is pushing transactions onto the network, number one. Number two, it also allows us to accumulate more money from these incoming users from different projects that we reverse it back into marketing, giving it back towards the community. Not only giving it back, but as I mentioned previously, one of the strategy is to buy back the coins, right? Now, if you mention about the fact that, okay, how does the 3x, what does 3x L1X by purchase mean? These NFT tiers, you can get them in two different ways. You can either buy them or you can perform a certain task. You can buy them with L1X coins, right? L1X is one of the source you can buy them with. And when you buy them, you get certain L1X coins based on the value of the NFT. So let's say the NFT is worth $100. And now, if you buy that NFT, even with L1X, you will get $300 worth L1X coins, but with 24-month vesting. So the idea over here is to soak up the liquidity of people, of the current community members, of course, but also the new people coming into the community, right? Because we don't just want them to buy and start selling off straight away. So we want them to buy the coins, translate it into the NFTs, and at the same time, if they go and keep performing these applications or the actions on these applications that they were doing anyways on the Web3 ecosystem, it helps us to keep that user intact. So every month we can release a report saying that, okay, the price of the coin has gone up by X. There are that many NFT tier users, increased in this particular tier. So it gives us a focus. Okay, if we know that, this user is a knight who has performed X actions, the marketing activity has to be for knight users to move them to rook or castles by doing these marketing activities. So certain influencers will only push for certain type of users, right? There are certain shit guys with $10 in the account. There are certain people with $1,000, right? So we want to segregate or user profile these guys and then focus on the influencers rather than just spending money, in the dark and seeing, okay, what comes out of it. Yeah. So one more question is, how does the Expert Platinum Club work with the NFT tier? Okay, good question. Now, you can buy the NFT, you can perform certain things to get the NFT, and you can be eligible for certain NFTs. So if you bought a username, right, you will be directly eligible for the Rook NFT worth $250. You don't have to buy it, you don't have to perform anything. You get that NFT straight away. Now, when you get that NFT straight away, all the benefits with that come to you as well. So it can be $500 worth of L1X coins over a period of 2 years. It can be, one more free username attached to it. It can be multiple different benefits that you get by holding that Rook NFT. So what we have done is the L1X app NFT that you see that was going to give you the revenue, we are converting that into Rook NFT. We are creating a single dimensional NFT structure to push L1X Foundation, also the L1X app, right? So we did push the tech to bring in users, right? But at the same time, I think working with projects, we have understood one thing: how to get these users to do certain things on the app or on the other projects. That's important, right? So all the users and all the community members that have certain L1X coins, that have done swaps, that have done stake, that have participated in the balancer pool, that have got usernames, that have got node NFTs, that have participated in the expert platinum tiers, all of them have been accounted for. You don't have to perform anything more. You don't have to buy the NFT. You will be rewarded directly. So this has been taken care of. This is mainly focusing on soaking up the liquidity and allowing people to get more liquidity associated. For example, if you buy the NFT with L1X coins, you get 10% discount and you get more coins in your bag. So this is not to raise money. This is to make sure that people, convert their coins into L1X, which we can then use to go and buy back the coins on the exchanges and the DEX, right? So that is how this fundamental has been established as an infrastructure for us initially, and we will push the marketing backing this up. Okay, thanks for that, Sandra. By the way, it was mainly Sandra's work that, on the whole structuring and stuff. I play a lot of chess, so of course the tiering names were mine. Anyways, I'll pass it on to Leono to give us some statistics on the current activity on the support.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I've been receiving tickets, and just to give you an idea, from 1st of July, until like now, we have around like 99 tickets that were opened, out of which 56 are completed, and 27 are still open. And when I say open, few of the tickets, they have issues, and we are already resolving the bugs. So when the bugs are resolved, the tickets will be closed as well. Out of 27, I'm assuming at least 50% will be closed. The in progress that we have as of today are 21, and out of which we have already closed 17, and we are still awaiting like confirmation from the users. And the other update I wanted to give is a lot of users might have faced issues with staking L1X coins, like they're able to see the entry in their profile, but the balance is not deducted. Thanks for letting us know. That was actually a bug. Like when we released it, it worked, and later on there were some issues. The developers are working on it right now. The staking is disabled for next few hours until we fix it. We are testing it, and we'll be releasing it in some time. The second most number of tickets that were raised were for wallet transfer issues. Now, just letting you all know, this has happened due to the residue amounts that were left back during experts. So not many addresses are having this trouble, but few of them have. We are trying to solve it ticket by ticket, but again, what's happening is a lot of users are in a hurry to move it to a different address. So what we are doing is the developers are working on a script to get all these addresses from the blockchain, because the data on the blockchain is encrypted. So once we get all these addresses, we'll be clearing try to clear most of the addresses with this issue in a bulk. So I'm expecting the data to be between like next 48 hours. And once we receive that, we'll start working on these tickets, and most of the users who are having trouble with their transfers should be able to transfer it out. And the next one that I have is an update on node hosting. A lot of users are successfully hosting the nodes, especially the one on DigitalOcean or any service providers. But a lot of users have tried and have been successful hosting nodes on their local machine. Of course, there were a lot of errors and issues that were raised, but the community was helpful, and each one, most of the users supported each other. So that has been going good as well so far. And one more thing on the node hosting is a few of the users have reported that they get the node is out of sync, whilst taking the latest block from the blockchain. So what we are doing right now is we have deployed a script that is already there on the repository as well. But what this script will do is once it's activated, if your node is behind the actual chain height by 1,000 nodes, it will restart the node. And when I say restart, that means it will delete the snapshot of the database on your node and pull the latest snapshot so that you do not miss any rewards. That's the update I have until now.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Leono. Okay, so as I mentioned previously in the last AMA, that we will, hire. I mean, we will appoint 2-person team to solve all the tickets. We've been doing that. We've got a complete log of it. And one of the other thing that we are currently working on is also releasing a tokenomics Power BI report where you will be able to see, all the coins that are going out in circulation, who is getting what coins. So this will at least help you to understand that with all these features that we are trying to release, to soak up the liquidity, is it even working, right? So complete transparency over there. And as you see that there are so many different angles to it, like I can't even, even only if I knew it before I started L1X, but there are so many different angles associated to it. There are certain things that can be missed out, right? But I appreciate the patience that the community has shown, and keep showing that patience to us, please. We will get there. Okay, now we do have 25 more minutes to go. Moving on to the questions. The first question is by Fairkey. All right. The question is, when will L1X be presented on CMC? To put it mildly, this is a very unprofessional on the part of the team management and a big red flag for future interested parties. Such a failure and lack of interest to change anything and leave this company unknown will soon take its revenge. As I mentioned previously, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think, we were handling that part. We have already reached out to the CMC team multiple times, and given them all the necessary information. Would you like to add more information to that? Can you hear Mike, or is it just me?
He's mute.
All right.
Mike, you're mute.
Oh, he can't unmute himself. But yeah, I think until Mike comes, right? It's been multiple emails that we have sent across to them. Now, I do understand there is a lot of frustration, and we are more frustrated. Trust us, we are more frustrated because of that, right? Because we are doing all this hard work, and because of somebody else, we can't even get it across. But we are getting in touch with them. Maybe I'll take it up myself, to get in touch with these guys. We will sort something out soon. Okay. Leono and Sandra, can you hear me? I think I'm having a very bad internet. Yeah, all right. Why do L1X devs freeze all the wallets that received referral reward? 1 second. Yeah. Coins from private and public sale, and that contributed to balance a pool in February or March. Many people use the same wallet to receive daily vesting of public sale, referral reward coin, rewards from FE and hosting, and to contribute to balance a pool. Even after complete sanitization of data and V2 wallet remained frozen and transferring out of already vested coins. I think, no, that is not the case. So you should be able to go to the expert page, and if you have any balance in there, you should be able to vest it. Now, if you have not vested that, and if you have got more than 100 coins in your account, then definitely your wallet will be listed as, will be freeze. But the reason for that is we don't want, all these extra coins going out there when it should not be having going out and troubling the other community members. So whoever this person is, please open up a ticket for this, and we will reach out to you for it, because other guys, with the balancer who have gone through the expert and they're getting their daily distribution can't send these coins from the version 2 of the account and forward. Yeah, I think Mike is here and he's unmuted.
Yep. And just to add about CMC from earlier, absolutely, we've made a number of approaches to them, put requests into and CoinGecko to get not just the listing but also the updates on CoinGecko for us. So yeah, that's definitely underway. We keep following up on that, but no answer from them yet.
Yeah, thanks for that. When can we expect to see transaction fee data in L1X Transfer and Explorer? The Explorer also stopped showing swap data post 2nd July. Yes, that's a good point, Dharamveer. And I like this guy's approach. Like, he points out, all these things, and it's good for us. Keep doing that, please. If you're looking for a job, let us know. But at the same time, the transactions that were being processed for the new swap, we did not update that on the Explorer, but the data on the blockchain still exists. So what we are currently doing is, this week we are going so when we updated Solana, that we will make it visible with the new update.
I think you got a lag problem, Kevin. Yep. Well, Kevin's still coming back online. What I might do is I'll talk a little bit about the current status of the DEX side. At the moment, I started saying earlier that we've been working with the DEX team, and Matthew, Cody and I are on a call until it was about 3 a.m. Cody's time, so this afternoon, with the team. They're pretty excited about where they're at, what they've seen, and the work that Kevin and the devs have been doing on it for them to get the DEX fully working. It's quite an amazing concept that's coming out there, because it'll ultimately be a white label DEX solution, giving the ability to launch other types of DEXs as well. And we've been approached by a number of parties around producing different types of DEXs. One example of that is around a meme focused DEX. That's something that, from a community point of view, when you look at some of the chains out there, they've got millions of users. And that's actually a good starting point, because a lot of crypto users actually jump into crypto via the memes. So that's one that we're looking at. We've also got the ability in there with that white label solution of producing other types of DEXs around a real world asset DEX, a game DEX. We could even produce DEXs that are suitable, have a front end that aligns with the different protocols that we're connected to. So that's also possible in there as well. So the DEX team are pretty excited. They're also doing the DEX as a DAO, so decentralized autonomous organization. The benefit of that is it means that it's more of a community-driven DEX, with the ability also that they're going to, they like the idea around NFTs, so they're going to be launching the DEX and making that available as a full 100% community-owned DEX. I'm not aware of any others out there that are actually doing that as a DEX, but I think it'll probably make one of the most exciting DEXs available out there in the world today. And also, you start looking at our ability in there to do that cross-chain capability. Introducing that, we can pull we're looking to pull tokens from all the chains that we're connected to make those available, to work with those various teams to introduce liquidity as well for those particular swaps. So there's going to be some pretty amazing features coming. We're going to be doing that in a stage process. So as the capabilities, as the DEX team give us the list of the items that they want, and they've given us a huge list already, we're introducing those one at a time over a period of number of months. So
yeah, thanks for that. When will prices of the daily bonus, win, and lucky draw from the L1X node airdrop campaign being pushed to the distributor? As it's been 2 months since the campaign ended, we have already started distributing these coins. I think Leono is here, so if there are any wallet addresses that have missed out, we will definitely look at it. But all these coins have already started the distributor. So if you even go to the L1X app explorer right now, all of them are being distributed. So if your wallet address is missed out, it may not have been in the list, right? But we have started the distribution. Missing Zeely, Gleam, and airdrop wins. Yeah, so as I mentioned previously, any wallet address that has been missed out is a case-by-case basis, right? Because we had a list that we had to upload it into the distributor, and that list was complete. But again, please raise a ticket. If you do think that we should create like a separate channel itself for this missed rewards, I think that could also be done, right? So there is like a constant communication, so we can at least, everyone can know at least how many people are there who missed out, right? So Leonel, if we can just open up one channel on Discord just for these missed rewards, we can keep all the conversations there as well. Okay. Why are the node rewards so much lower than the last days, and why are the sum of daily validator rewards and the next day payout of your rewards for nodes not the same? It should be the same. I'm happy to have a look at it, but it was basically based on the number of coins that were going out. So we do have that. And again, as I mentioned, we will be looking at refactoring the rewards because it is lower. I understand it was done at 50 cents. And it is lower right now, so we will definitely refactor the reward. And what I would also say is that even if the rewards are refactored, those extra coins that you'll be getting will be vested, right? We do have a good number of nodes already hosted, so that actually helps. But yeah, we will refactor the rewards. Will the marketing start before or after the ELN nodes release? As I mentioned, we are currently working on that NFT tiering system. And then we are also speaking to certain influencers to push this NFT tiering system out. So based on the projects that are coming in, right? And this marketing thing is a big problem for all the projects right now, because there's so much of money being spent at marketing. It's hard to get the attention in. So that's one of our ways to get the attention in, by actually pushing the users towards the tiering system from the project's perspective as well. So once the NFT tiering system is released, that we hope is done in the next 3 to 4 weeks at the maximum, we will have the projects out as well. And that's the time we can go hard hardcore, into the marketing aspect. How many? Okay, will we have follow-up updates on the hackathon progress? Yeah, we will. It's been pretty slow. It's pretty surprising for me how it's been so slow. But there are a couple of projects that have already started but not registered on the portal. So what we will be doing is we'll be asking them to go to the portal and register as well. So there are a couple of projects that have not registered there and have already started the development process, right? So we will tell them to go and add the information so you can also see what these projects are. How many non-programmer staff are employed by L1X and working in the Perth office? What's their daily duties? I think, yeah, so of course, not a lot in the Perth office at this particular moment. There is, of course, Sandra, Leono, Mike, right? There is also an accounts person there. So probably I would say maximum like 5 or 6 people right now who are in the Perth office, but we never had a lot of people in the Perth office anyways. Like all our people were out of the Perth office, mainly in the other countries pushing it. But at the same time, on the operational side, I think, it's maybe just because of the lack of, how to do it. Maybe, the willingness was there, but we will definitely, see how to push the other angles of operations and marketing, even with these resources that we have.
It's also important to point out that as a decentralized organization that that also applies across to people. We've got people all over the world in the organization. So, you know, it's the nature of the type of work that we're doing.
Yeah. And I think one of the question over here that he asked was, with all the savings from not spending on marketing, will this be given back to community members, right? I think you have to understand that whoever has asked this, right, I would tell you that go on Google and try to have a look at one developer's salary, right? So a lot of the money was spent on making sure that the product was built, right? And if you have a look at the numbers, we have spent on marketing campaigns, we have spent initially, and that's how other people came to know about it as well, right? So it's not that money was not spent, money was spent, but I do believe that it did not give us what we wanted. And that's why I'm hesitant to spend more money on something that's not going to give us the return, because we don't have multiple shots at it, right? So a proper structure before we push it hard, meaning you get the projects out, you get a tiering system out, some form of measurement tools that the marketing is working, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't know if the marketing even works. Like if the price of the coin is high for 10 days, right? That doesn't mean the marketing worked. So that's what I mean, right? So a constantly evolving way of approaching this is how we look at it. Okay. Any info that can be provided about the new decks? I think Mike has already mentioned about it, right? Where is Matthew? Why has he not commented in Discord or public facing? As I mentioned, Matthew is attending to his family thing right now. But I think he's definitely available. Like Mike speaks to him, I spoke to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, I was on the calls today with Matthew, and I'm repeating what I said earlier, but we're on the phone for probably a total of about 6 hours with Matthew, Cody, and the rest of the DEX team. So he's around, just doing things and fitting in where he can with his commitments that he had to work on.
Yeah. Lots of successful hackathons I've seen in the past are for 25 to 50,000 prices. Why start with a big price of 100,000 to 150 if L1X is a new chain and no substantial marketing campaigns behind it? We could have multiple smaller hackathons to build traction. Yeah, I think it's both the ways, right? Like if we went out with 25,000, then someone would have said, why maybe 25,000 is not getting you enough? You should have gone 500,000, right? So it's both the ways. We believe that a higher number is something that developers may be interested in. Like, for example, if there are devs who are moving towards working as freelancers, they do believe that they have a good shot at this, to make it worthwhile, their effort. That's where I think that price structure has been looked at, right? And yeah, sure. I mean, traction, when you compare traction, I understand that there is less traction than the other projects out there, like Solana, for example. But at the same time, you have to understand that Solana spends hundreds of millions of dollars every month. Polkadot spends hundreds of millions of dollars every month. But it's not the fact where now you buy Solana is going to go up to $2,000 in 12 months, 14 months. So for us, if you think about it as community, someone getting it at $1, he wants it to go to $10. And that's going to take another level of marketing effort. So the cycle is going to keep on continuing. So this answering of the questions is going to keep happening. So making sure that, we meant seriously that the 500,000 reward, is going to help us get the projects on, as that is the direction right now, getting the projects to work on the protocol, right? And then pushing the marketing. So that's what we focused upon. Okay, just wondering if there are any ETAs on any of the following distributions. Referral bonus for L1X app, NFT purchases, reward coins, or the same one. Okay, yeah, so we are currently working on this NFT tiering system, and we have already taken those things into consideration. For example, the free mint will be, you have another rook that you get, right? So you've got 2 NFTs, you get another rook. The only condition over here is that you can't have 2 NFTs on one account. So what we will do is that when this NFT tiering is launched, you will check your eligibility. And in your eligibility, of course, if you've done transactions or whatever it is, you will be eligible for one of that. But now if you have a free mint, you will be able to move it across to another account. So that eligibility page will come up, right? I'm sure we're going to get a lot of tickets for that as well. But at the same time, I believe that it's good to get this done in one single shot rather than keep on doing it onto multiple stages. Okay. Any update when the projects from Mint and Win competition? We placed second with L1X Girls project. Will be distributed or shown in our wallets. We need to see them in wallets so we can start developing the project. Okay, I am not aware about this. I will speak to the marketing team and the support team and get back to you on this. Kisik style. Okay. Update on OMChain. Yeah, Sleazy Slimy. Yeah, so OMChain, look, I think these guys are already building, and we've tried to reach out to them. Sometimes it can be that they are busy with something. Sometimes it can be we are already working on some other projects. But as I mentioned to you previously, we have nailed down these 4 projects that we want to release in the coming month, and we are just focusing on that. Like, I'm not trying to focus on 8-10 different things at the same time now. I'm just making sure that these projects go out, so that one of the criteria that when I was talking to certain big investment firms of, what would it take for you to come and soak in all the liquidity, right, at a good price? So one of the criteria is that you got to have at least 6 to 7 projects out there, right? So that we will reach, I think, by the month of August, mid-September. So, when we do talk to these funds, they're saying that, okay, the coin is highly undervalued, right? It makes perfect sense to get in, but these are like one of those check boxes. So if if the community members now understand what I mean, why am I trying to push for projects, right? It is for the betterment of the community. All right, I think I've answered a lot of these questions in here. Anyways, when will the swaps to ETH blockchain be optimized? We have already optimized it, but with the new upgrade on the swap contracts, it will be optimized further. There are certain times the cost is higher, and that's because we are generating a unique ID, and Ethereum is like extremely expensive. Like when you're trying to do it, from it, right? Because you are actually calling that function to generate the unique ID. If you're sending it to Ethereum, right, that's not a big problem. But from makes it a bit expensive. And the thing is, like, we can't change it for a specific network. Like, we don't want to do that, right? But we will figure out something to make it more optimized. There will be a workaround for it. We'll figure it out. Okay. Why can't L1X coins be? I already answered the question around hackathon. Why can't L1X coin be tradable at PancakeSwap or Uniswap when L1X coin is multi-chain coin? Okay, when will the team increase liquidity at swap to make it more professional? Right. Yeah, look, I think Veramveer, you have definitely got a point, that it does. I mean, there is not, compared to the other guys, there's hardly any liquidity in there. I think the answer to this question is the DEX taking over, right? Because at the end of the day, there's how much the foundation and the protocol can do, right? And I don't want to move into, an application style where we give out like 1,000%, 1,200% rewards, and rewards coming out backed by no utility. I don't want to do all that to increase liquidity. So I think the DEX taking over and then pushing it, right, for the liquidity makes more sense, because the foundation money that we've got with us, that is reserved for, making sure the development is, we have a hardcore product like that. At least that should not go wrong, right? And then we have enough money for the marketing push, right? So that's what we have kept it reserved for. When will ELN node staking be available? It will be available probably sometime in Q3, probably later Q3, right? August, end of August, early September. Okay. Why can't we use MetaMask wallet for staking on L1X app for L1X coins? As I think I already mentioned this, which is The MetaMask right now, you can view the L1X coins, but you can't transfer it. But you can transfer the tokens that are built on L1X EVM. So we have already finished the feature. It works. It's in testing. By the end of this month, you will be able to transfer L1X coins from your MetaMask wallet. What are you guys doing with investor funds if mostly everyone in the team is getting paid with L1X coins? Okay, most of all, we raised the funds in January last year, and then around June, right? So it's already been, if you think about it, 15, I think what, 1.5 to 18 months, right? So if you do a bit of calculation, right? And I mentioned previously, $5 million was raised in the private sale, and after that, less than that was raised in the public sale, right? So if you do the calculation, those money, I mean, not everything is spent, but there is money remaining, right? And I also mentioned the fact that the other expenses for the foundation is coming out of my own pocket, right? So we can't go and spend like Solana and Polkadot. If you are looking for that, you are in the wrong place. I have mentioned that years ago, right? So I don't remember the exact numbers. But anyways, what we are focusing on is making sure that whatever budget we have, we are working within the constraints of that. We do have a marketing budget, which we will push. But more importantly, we are also making sure that the protocol is rock solid in terms of tech. We are ironing out the bugs. We're making sure that the marketing fundamentals are established, exchanges are listing, and when the time comes for a bigger fund to come in, we tick all the boxes. So that is the plan we are currently approaching it with. Okay. Okay, so the balancer pool, right? Now, with the balancer pool, as I mentioned, it will be opened up, on the DEX in the coming month, right? And all those rewards in there, I think you can still, view your BPT tokens, right? Nothing has changed in there. And the rewards from a certain time has been stopped, but we will be giving out certain amount of rewards to all those people who have still staked into the balancer pool. And once it goes live, if you want, you can unstake it out as well. All those liquidity is still present. If you go to the balancer right now, those information is being pulled from the contract, right? All that liquidity is still there. So if you want, when the DEX goes live, we can't move it to the swap because that's not our money. You put it in the balancer for certain reasons, but the swap was delayed. We can't take that out and put it into single staking for the swaps to work. That's not my money. I can't do it. So when the balancer goes out and all the features are opened up, such as exit pool and swap, the people that have actually put it into the balancer will be getting the rewards, refactored rewards. We are speaking to the DEX right now for that. You will be able to take that liquidity out and put it into any other place if you wanted to. Yeah, I think that's most of the questions. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think one of the most important thing I'd like to mention here is this, right? I understand that, the tech is great. People don't doubt that, right? We need to push the marketing. I am more of a believer that, until the fundamental is not right, nothing can be pushed. Otherwise, it's temporary. Because what will happen is the onus of other people coming in also falls on the protocol, where somebody has to buy, right? And these people are waiting to sell at a higher price. So this cycle is continuously going to go on. It's not going to stop. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to prove that, the technology first, it works properly, right? The infrastructure works and it's been working. Number two is we are setting up the fundamental for the marketing, where how do the community members know the marketing is working, right? That's the first thing I ask the certain agencies, like how do we know it's working? Like, you ask us to pay X amount, how do we know it's working? So if I build you a tech product, it's working. How do you think the marketing is working? Just by the price of the coin? I don't think so. But because how long is it going to be sustainable, right? And that is why we are building a way where we can measure the marketing activities and pull and push where it works the max. So we can keep doing it continuously. And until that is not done,
I think we've lost Kevin again. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
He's back. No problem.
The
All good.
internet,
You're back.
man, the internet. Imagine working with this internet. Yeah, but until it is not done, I'm not going anywhere.
And I think we've lost Kevin again for the moment, but just to echo Kevin with his comments there around till it's done, till everything's launched, all the various components, all the projects, we're not going anywhere, working hard. So all I can tell you is that we're working extremely closely with the DEX guys. Just to add a little extra, I did put a little image on Discord for those that might want to go and have a look at it. Might give you a little bit of a teaser about what's coming. And we're back on a call again with them at midnight tonight to discuss another DEX team. So
yeah, sorry,
and you're back.
I dropped out. Yeah, look, before I go out again, until this is not done, I'm not going anywhere. So you don't have to worry about it. Right? I'm not going to die before we increase the price of the coin. Don't worry. if that's the concern.
Totally. Very good. All right. Thank you for the updates there, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I think let's do one more in the next 2 weeks, and hopefully by that time, we'll be releasing the project, maybe one of the project, because by 10th of August is when we are expecting them to go out after testing. But yeah, we'll push and we'll do our best, right? We'll make it work. It's just timing. It's just a phase. We'll make it work. Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. Again, thanks
Thank
again,
you.
Sandra, for explaining the marketing. Thanks, Leono, for the support. And thanks, Mike, for always being here. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.